अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मत्परमगुरुभ्यो नमः अस्मत्सर्वगुरुभ्यो नमः श्री कृष्ण परब्रह्मणे नमः श्री लक्ष्मी परब्रह्मणे नमः श्री लक्ष्मी हयवदन परब्रह्मणे नमः सर्वं श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु. We'll start the lecture. I guess you can hear me well. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, let me change the volume settings here a little bit, and we should be able to start. You can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So we'll continue with the Madhvācārya. We were doing the 6th chapter. Just a second. I think I have I don't know whether I have this right thing here. Hold on a second. Oh, interesting. Maybe, yeah. So we were doing chapter 5, shloka 7. So the way I will do it today is, first, unless there is you don't understand something, you can write down your questions clearly and keep it ready. I don't see that much of a difference or something very unique about the shlokas till we come to the 5.14 or 5.15. We may be only able to cover till 5.14. So, but many of the ideas are very well known regarding the Madhvācārya's views here. So I'm going to just simply state those and go further. Definitely, this will be a long-term recorded information for those who want to understand the details of the Sanskrit regarding all these shlokas, right? That's what we were doing. We already did the overview of all these Ācāryas' view on Gita already. We have finished all the 3 schools overview. We are going line by line, the details of interpretation of these Ācāryas. Now we are considering Madhvācārya. We will definitely do justice to the verses and details of every word of the Ācāryas' Gita, Tātparya, Gita, Bhāṣya views. Okay, but I may do it in such a way that there is not much of repetition. There is always a lot of repetition in the Bhāṣya. And I have to avoid that so that it makes it easier for you people to be focused and not get bored. Okay. Sri Bhagavan Vacha 5.7. Yoga yukto vishuddhatma vijitatma jitendriyaha sarvabhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate. So what this verse means is, yoga yukta means he does karma yoga. Vishuddhatma, he is pure, his mind is pure. Here the Atma word means mind. Vijitatma, here the second, what do you call, mind, intellect. You can think of different ways the Atma word is used here. Vijitatma, he has won over his mind. Jitendriyaha, he has won over his indriyas or senses. So such a pure person, sarvabhutatma bhutatma kurvannapi na lipyate. Sarvabhutatma bhuta is Parabrahma or Ishvara, and he is in everyone, he has ensouled the entire universe. Such a person, that means he is controlling every person. And a person who knows that he is the real controller, I am not controlling, Lord Hari is the controller. Such a person who knows this, kurvan apina lipyate, even if he does anything, he will not be tainted by any actions. No sin will affect this person. So this is what the essence of the shloka is. Etadeva prapanchayati yoga yukta iti. This is Madhvācārya. So sarvabhutatma bhutaha means Parameshvaraha, that is Ishvara, Kṛṣṇa. Yacha atma means that which attains, it possesses. He attains. Sa atma bhutaha, so samīpam pratyādānādikarta yasya saha sarvabhutatma bhutatma. Sarvabhutatma bhutatma. That means he draws everything near to him, controls everything, and knower of this is the Sarvabhutatma Bhuta Atma. That is the person who is the aspirant. So the aspirant knows that Hari is the controller and possessor of everything. You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Oh, good. Thank you. Just want to see, make sure. Sarvabhutatma bhutatma iti mukhya yogaha. Ādānāt sarvabhutānām Viṣṇuratma prakirtitah. Sarvabhutatma bhutatma tatra bhutamanaha puman iti cha. So Madhvācārya, as typical, typically what Madhvācārya does is he uses a similar statement somewhere in the Puranas to prove that his understanding of this verse is in sync with the rishis and great sages who talked about it in the Puranas. So he is syncing his meaning with the Puranic meaning. So this particular verse probably comes up in Agni Purana. So this Agni Purana states everyone is dependent on one Ishvara who controls, attracts, attains everyone else. That is Sarvabhutatma Bhutatma Ādānāt Sarvabhutānām Viṣṇuratma prakirtitah. Sarvabhutatma Bhutatma tatra bhutamanaha puman. So a person who understands that he is the controller, he acquires everything. That such a person will not get affected by anything. And he is the Ishvara who controls, attracts, attains everyone else, is the object of meditation to this aspirant. He constantly meditates, he or she constantly meditates on that Ishvara. And yoga is action, that is without any selfishness. Yoga is combined with Sannyāsa here, and it is known to be practiced in tradition from time immemorial. This is Shishtāchāra. Shishtāchāra means Agni Purana refers to a practice which has been there for a very, very long time, where the action yoga is combined with sannyasa, which is sannyasa is actually not giving up. It says that mentally it is not mine, I am not connected, I am only, Hari is making me do all these things. He is the main person. I am doing it as a service, and Hari knows the good for me, what is good for me. So he is making all this happen. With that attitude, if that person does, that is sannyasa, without any selfishness, interest in fruits thereof, or anything like that. Naiva kinchit karomi iti yukto manyeta tattvavit pashyan shranvan sprishan jigran ashnan gachan swapan swashan. So a person who is yukta, yukta means yoga yukta. Yoga yukta means he is in the path of yoga. Any particular question here? Could you please enable slideshow? Wait a minute. I am apparently I'm doing it. I don't understand this. Hold on a second. Stop share. Okay, 1 second. Stop share. How do I do it? Hold on. Have I enabled now? Don't understand. Hold on, ensure. Just a second. Is it working now?
Yes.
Okay, good. नैव किञ्चित् करोमि इति युक्तो मन्येत तत्त्ववित् पश्यन् शृण्वन् स्पृशन् जिग्धन् अष्टन् गच्छन् स्वपन् स्वशन्. A person who is engaged in yoga should think, I am doing it and I am not doing anything, even though this person is seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, walking, sleeping, breathing. He's doing all these things, but he thinks that nothing is being done by him. Pralapan, even while crying, giving up, throwing, holding, opening the eyes, closing the eyes. This person will only think that indriyani indriyartheshu vartante iti dharayanne. So the objects of senses are attached with my senses. The senses and the sense objects are interacting with each other. I am dependent. I'm not doing independently anything. I'm acting, I'm doing, but I'm not independent. So this is the nature of the person who is yoga yukta, who has the right knowledge. Sannyāsam sprashtayati punah shlokadvayena. So 8 and 9, Madhvācārya says, what exactly is sannyasa is being clearly mentioned here, explained here. Yathanyasasya yoga rupatvam tathaha naiva kinchit ityadina Viṣṇurnārtheshveditani mana adini sarvashaha. How does the mind perceive the objects? Viṣṇuna. Viṣṇu is pushing, making the mind get connected with the objects, and a mind can perceive the objects. Vartate anyo na swatantraha iti. I am not directly able to do it, or anybody, any individual cannot directly even perceive objects. Viṣṇu is enabling. Indriyas do not perform independently without help of Viṣṇu. Nothing else is dependent. Nothing else is independent. Only Viṣṇu is independent. He who knows this is tattvajnani. Tattvavit. Vartate anyo na swatantra iti janan hi tattvavit. Person who knows this is tattvavit. What is an atattvavit? Who doesn't know? He thinks that he is the doer. If I had done this, I would have done this, I would have achieved this. All this is illusion, erroneous knowledge. The true knowledge is Hari is doing everything, Viṣṇu is doing everything through me. So this is the details given by Agni Purana, mentioned by Madhvācārya. Brahman, this 5:10 is Brahmanyādāya karmāni sangam tyaktva karoti yaha lipyate nasapāpena padmapatram ivambhasa. So, Brahmanyādāya karmāni, dedicating all actions to Brahman. Sangam tyaktva, without attachment, whoever does all the works, lipyate nasapāpena padmapatram ivambhasa. That person will not be tainted or affected by any sin or papa, like how water does not wet the surface of a lotus leaf, and the water drop just roll over without even wetting the surface. In that way, the effects of actions which are of the form of papa or sin will not affect such a person. So this is the beauty about the knowledge, the right knowledge. So in some of these shlokas, there is a repetition of information, and that repetition is intentional by Lord Kṛṣṇa himself to let everybody know that these are not lip service words. He really means what he says. People should take all this seriously. And it's not for praise he is saying this. He really means what he is saying. That's what Madhvācārya says here. Sannyāsa yoga yukta eva cha karmana na lipyate ityaha brahmani. That means both are needed. What are needed? Hold on a second. There's some. I already took care of it. Everything is okay, I think. Yeah. Sannyāsa yoga yukta eva cha karmana na lipyate ityaha brahmaniti. So sannyasa and yoga both are required. Sannyasa is the mental disposition. Yoga is the actual actions done by a person, which are all shastraic actions, those that are permitted by shastras. They are not against the shastras, and also done with done by thinking that he is not the doer, he is not the enjoyer of the fruits, and everything is Lord Hari's service to Lord Hari. Sadhana niyamopachara charatva nivrityartam punah punah palakatanam. The repetition is to emphasize the nature of sadhana. The sadhana involves yoga and sannyasa together. Why is Madhvācārya stressing this? In the Śaṅkarācārya's view, they say karma can be given up after you get purity, after one level. Once you are able to be in jnana, you don't need karma. So jnanis do not have to do karma, even though prescribed in the shastras. This is the view of Śaṅkarācārya, which Madhvācārya does not agree. Sri Bhagavan Vacha 5:11. Kayena manasa buddhya kevalayirindriyairapi yoginah karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaye. So thing is, how does this yogis from such a long time back as a tradition, how do they do? These yogis, how do they work? Kayena manasa buddhya. They using their body, mind and intellect. BMI. His favorite words of Chinmayananda. Kayena manasa buddhya. Body, mind and intellect. Using all the three. Kevalayirindriyairapi. Even though even just the indriyas or the senses. Yoginah karma kurvanti. Using all these, yogis do karma. Sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaye. Without any attachment to the fruits or actions, or even that they are the agents of action. So why do they do this? Atma shuddhaye. Their mind will become pure if they do it like this. Evam cha ācāraha ityaha kayena iti. This is the methodology of the ancient people who have been doing, the yogis who have been doing these karmas in this way. That is known as Shishtācāra. Shishtācāra means the Shishtas are the right kind of people who know the right knowledge and who actually act on the right knowledge. And the nature of their life and their activities is known as Shishtāchāra. That one should follow. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Yuktaha karma phalam tyaktva shantim apnoti naishtikim. Yuktah karma phalam tyaktva shantim apnoti naishtikim. Ayuktah kamakarena phale sakto nibadhyate. So the thing is, yuktaha means the person who is engaged in yoga, giving up the fruits of actions, karma phalam tyaktva, shantim apnoti naishtikim. Just by doing like that, the natural peace, he gets the shanti or the peace naturally. Ayuktaha, the person who is not engaged in yoga, kamakarena, because he is into desires and taking care of the desires, constantly desiring new things. Phale saktaha, constantly interested in the fruits of actions. Nibadhyate, he gets bound, he gets locked up in this almost endless samsara or life. So the thing is, the right kind of person does all actions as a worship of the Lord, Bhagavad Puja Rupa, and gives, and that very fact that he is doing it as an offering to the Lord, he gets natural peace. Swarupa Ananda Avirbhava. There is a natural peace right within us as Jivatmas. That peace will bloom, will get established, will be known. Both yoga and sannyasa are needed for moksha. Moksha cannot be attained with just one of them. If something is missing, these people will be bound in samsara. This is what is explained here. Punar yuktyadi niyamanartham yukta yukta phalamaha yukta iti yukto yoga yuktaha. With yoga, the person does not get bound. Without yoga, the person gets bound. There is a very big difference. So there is moksha with yoga, there is no moksha without it. 5.13 Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Sarvakarmani Manasā Sannyasyaste Sukham Vashi Navadvare Pure Dehi Naiva Kurvan Nakarayan Punaha Sannyāsa Shabdartam Spashtayati Sarvakarmani iti Manaseti Visheshanad Abhimanatyaga. So the thing is, Sarvakarmani Manasā Sannyasya. Here means giving up all works mentally. So the person actually may physically be doing the work, but mentally he has no association with that work. Sukham Vashi, he stays happily. Vashi means the person who has everything under control. And such a person lives in this city, Pura means city, with 9 orifices. That is the body. Dehi, Naiva Kurvan Nakarayan. He doesn't directly act or does not make anything act because he knows that he is not independent. He may be acting, but he is not independent. Punaha Sannyāsa Shabdartam Spashtayati. This is the meaning of sannyasa. So the thing is, Manasā, the word Manasā is clearly said that mentally means Abhimanatyaga. There is no attachment to the work. No attachment to fruits whatsoever. So Abhimana is attachment. Oh, this is mine, this is me, I did it, and all those things. That is Abhimana. So he gives up the doership and knows that actually he, Ishvara, is the real doer. Now we go to Gītā Tātparya, which is another type of, another parallel commentary written by Madhvācārya on the same shlokas 5.10 to 5.13. Tat pujatmakani tat kritani mama shubharthamidamiti brahmanyadhanam. So whatever I am doing as worship, and it's all for my own good, and everything is dedicated to the Brahman. That is the meaning of Brahmani adhaya. Adhanam means, Sanskrit is explained here by Madhvācārya. Swatantriya bhava apekshayaiva jīvasya akartritvam. Because a person does not have any independence in doing anything, Hence, Jiva is akarta, is not the actor, because Paramatma is the actor. But Jiva does not have complete no agency at all. Jiva is also a karta, and that is explained here. Svabandhanam yatha pitra karitam shishu kartrukam. What it means here is like a kid. If dad makes the little child prostrate in front of him, prostrate in front of me, that's what he says. So the little kid prostrates and do namaskar, salutes to his father. So it is. So the thing is, here the father is Ishvara or Hari, and the kids are all of us. So he is making us do. He is the real doer. So activity is not given up by anyone. The jivas do engage in activity. It's only giving up the idea that he is the agent of karma. He is responsible for the karma. He did it. That kind of attachment is what you should give up. Even the idea that I'm getting things done, even if you don't directly do and you're the big manager and getting all the things done by others, even that you should not have, that you are getting it done. Evam puja Vishnudina bhave jivakrite ityapi iti pravritte. That means thing is all worship is also dependent on Viṣṇu. Even though a person does any of this worship, bhavet jivakrita ityapi, but the thing is actually Viṣṇu is making us do. Ato manasaiva karmanyasoham asvatantriyapekshaya. So manasa, this is mental giving up of actions, not physical. And knowing that he is asvatantra, not independent. And the sarvakarta, the actor, the real actor behind every actions in this universe is Paramatma. Knowing this view, one should be doing all actions. So here the subject becomes a little bit difficult to understand. We will go slow a little bit. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Nakartritvam nakarmani lokasya srijati prabhu nakarma pala samyogam svabhāvastu pravartate. So the thing is, this verse is a little difficult to understand, but I'll just give you a simple example. There are several meanings for this verse. Nakartritvam nakarmani lokasya srijati prabhu. Here the word prabhu can be, prabhu means Lord. Here the word Prabhu is not Ishvara or Hari. The Prabhu is, from the perspective of matter, Jivatma is the boss, right? So the thing is, this is Jivatma. And the Jivatma does not have independent doership. He is not an independent actor. Nakarmani, even the actions are not associated with this Jivatma. Na karma phala samyogam svabhāvastu pravartate. Na karma phala samyogam. That is, by nature, one is not associated with the fruits of action. That is not the nature of this Jivatma. Let's try to understand this carefully using an analogy given by Madhvācārya himself. In the case of a king appointing his son as a prince, and giving him the rulership and responsibility to protect the citizens, usually what happens in general life, suppose there is an old king and he has a young prince, and he gives the prince the freedom and even, okay, you can take over, you can do whatever you want, but protect all these citizens. Once the freedom is given, it is possible that the son may take up this freedom and think that he is totally free. There is a possibility in this world. But Ishvara will never let go of his power. He will never give full independence to jivas. Even though he gives us the freedom to act, he does not give us full independence. We are not fully independent. That is the idea here. न च करोति वस्तुतः इत्याह न कर्तृत्वम् इति प्रभुर्हि जीवो जडमपेक्षम्. So actually a Jiva is not free to do actions. He is completely dependent on Hari. Prabhu, it should be Prabhu here. There's an error here. Prabhu is Jiva. Jiva does not have Swatantra Kartatva or independent agency. Jiva has only Adhina Kartatva or dependent agent. यथा पितृदत्तं पालकत्वं राजपुत्राणामेव परमात्मदत्वं क्रिया स्वातंत्र्य लक्षणं कर्तृत्वं क्रियानिष्पन्न धर्मादिरूप कर्माणि स्वातंत्र्यं च जीवानामप्यस्ति इत्याशंकां परिहरति. What he is saying is, in the case of a king saying that his son can take care of a number of things, it doesn't mean that the king has given the whole kingdom to the prince. He just says, okay, you're one day going to become king, maybe, but now try to do all these things. You're okay, you're free to do all these things. So that is a freedom given by the king. And even to make things happen, to think, plan, and plan for the fruits, all these things are given freedom. But that doesn't mean that the prince owns and he can take over the entire kingdom. That is not true. So full freedom is not given to Jiva. Don't think that Jivas do not have any doership or agency at all. Jivas do have agency. They are agents, but they don't have full freedom. That's all. न कर्तृत्वम् इत्यादिना क्रियायाम् अदृष्टोत्पादने फले च स्वातन्त्र्यं लोकस्य न सृजति ईश्वरः अन्यथा लोकस्य इति विशेषणं व्यर्थम्. In this verse, the word lokasya, here it's mentioned here, न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि lokasya सृजति प्रभुः. So lokasya means people. So the thing is, some people may mistake the meaning of this sentence and say Prabhu is Hari or Ishvara, and he does not have any agency, nor does any actions belong to him. This is sort of an Advaitic view. And he says that that is not applicable here. That doesn't work here because the word Lokasya is here. Lokasya means the people here. All these people here. So this refers to the kartrutva or agency of the people, not not Ishvara. So the lokasya becomes purposeless if you make such a meaning that Paramatma does not do any actions. He is not the agent of any actions. That is the wrong meaning. Janapade nivasadam tadvitta bhojanamapyadhipatya. So the thing is, a king can give some kind of power to any of his immediate ministers or even his son or something like that. That doesn't mean that he gives up the whole kingdom to them. So the prince does not have an absolute freedom in that country. He only have dependent freedom. स्वयमेव भवति भावयति चेति स्वभावो भगवान स्वभावात् स्वयमेव कर्तृत्वादिषु प्रवर्तते. Here the word Svabhāva is explained. This word Svabhāva is in the shloka, right? Na kartrutvam, this is the shloka. Na kartrutvam na karmani lokasya srijati prabhu na karma phala samyogam svabhavastu pravartate. The word Svabhāva is explained here. What is Svabhāva? According to Madhvācārya, Svabhāva is Ishvara himself. Why? Let's see. What? Because naturally he is the creator. Naturally he is the destroyer, protector of the universe. That is the nature, because he plays. That is the Leela of the Lord. That is why Svabhāva means Ishvara, Bhagavan. Swatantriyat Bhagavan Viṣṇu Svabhāva Ishvara iti kirtitah. Because he is independent, Svabhāva, that means he does what he wants. So by nature he creates, protects, and many things like that he does. And that independence he gives to nobody. Tat swatantam kadapyeshananyasya srijati kvachit. He does not give up that freedom. So nobody can mess with him. Swatantriyadeva papadi sambandha kurvatopina. Because he is free, anything he does he will not get into trouble, or even he will not get any papa or sin tainted. Nothing will taint him. Nothing will bother him. So even though he creates and all these things happen in this creation, the Ishvara is sinless, papaless, mistakeless. He is pure, and he does not have any attachment or all the any bad effects. There is no blemish. Ajnānavrita buddhitvad idrisham tam na janate. But people who have ignorance will not understand this. Oh my God, look at this, so many wars, so many people are dying. What is this Kṛṣṇa doing, sitting happily somewhere in Vaikuntha or something? Does he really exist? What is he doing? So people can ask such questions. But actually, Kṛṣṇa is not attached to this universe. People are experiencing pleasure, pain, death, and birth, and everything due to karma. Previous actions done over millions of lives. So Kṛṣṇa himself does not he is not partial to anyone. That is why he does not get affected by anything. His nature is pure, actions are pure, sinless, problemless, perfect. And that is explained in the Mahavaraha. And Mahavaraha Purana says, people cannot understand the purity and untaintedness of this Ishvara who is acting forever. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha tapamyaham. These are all statements from different Gita, Upanishads and all. Madhvācārya is giving, saying that the nature of work, power to act, uncontrollable power where nobody can overpower that person, that is natural to Hari, and that is written all over the scriptures. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha. Matta sarvam pravartate, that is Gita. Everything comes from me. All actions, power, energy, everything comes from me. Everyone comes from me. That's what Kṛṣṇa is saying. Tapami ham varsham vigrihannamicha. I am making the sun hot. I am making the rains happen. That is what Kṛṣṇa says. Parasya shaktir vividhaiva shuyate. Svabhāviki jnānavala vikriyacha. This is Shvetashvatara Upanishad. It says that Ishvara, that is Lord, he has a divine power, and it is known differently, and that is Svabhāviki, that is by nature. Nobody, he doesn't have to work to get that power. He doesn't have to take vitamins to get the power. It is nature. Jnana bala kriyacha, the power, energy, actions, everything is natural to that Ishvara. Narute tat kriyate kinchanare. This, I don't know where this statement comes from or which text. Basically, it says, without you, nobody can work, nobody can do anything here or anywhere else. Devasya isha svabhavoyam. In the Mandukya Upanishad, it says, Devasya isha svabhavoyam. The nature of Deva is this play, divine play. Lokavattu lila kaivalyam is the Brahma Sutras. It says the whole universe is the play of God. Ityadehe na asya asvabhavikam kartatvam akartatvam va. Kṛṣṇa, Madhvācārya wants to say, look, some people say that this activity, power, energy is superimposition. Actually, Brahman does not have all these activities, does not have the nature of power, energy, all those things is not natural to Brahman. It is superimposed. Somebody may say that, right? Advaitis say. Because Brahman has no power, Brahman has no gunas, Brahman has no attributes. And all these things are superimposed on that. That is why he becomes Saguna Brahman. That's what Advaitis say. Madhvācārya says, no. Hari not having any agency or activity or power or anything is wrong. He has natural power, and that is written all over the scriptures. Viparita pramana bhavascha. To deny this, there is no other testimony contrary to what is there here. Or somebody may say, look, Brahman is anirvachya. He cannot be expressed in words at all. Don't say this. That's what Madhvācārya says. In the second chapter, I have already refuted that Brahman is inexpressible, and that we have to look into the second chapter. Next time I see it, I will let you know where exactly he refutes anirvachyatva. That is, Madhvācārya already has explained this. We have gone through this. I just have to refer to the particular verse in the second chapter where he explains this, that Brahman cannot be said as inexpressible using any words. Nacha sarva vishesha rahitya vadinam shunyavadat kaschid visheshaha. So if you deny all attributes to Brahman and you say nirguṇa, Brahman has no attributes whatsoever. If you say you and the Buddhists have no difference, you become a shunyavadi. That's what Madhvācārya says. Oh, why do you say that? Oh, no. Advaitis may say, we believe in the existence of Brahman. We are not like Buddhists. Buddhists don't believe in anything. We believe in the existence. So why are you clubbing us with Buddhists? Madhvācārya says, no. Nahi sarva vishesha rahitam ityukte tadasti iti siddhyati. So the thing is, if you deny all attributes to Brahman, Brahman has no attributes whatsoever, then you have to deny existence is also an attribute. You are denying the existence also, because existence has to be an attribute. You have said nirguṇa. You have not added even one guna to Brahman. So existence cannot be, which is a guna or attribute, doesn't work for you. You are as good as a Buddhist. That is what Madhvācārya says. Given that so that's already taken care of. Vachyatva, lakshyatva, asthitvādīnām api visheshatvat. Being expressible is vachyatva, in words. Being able to be denoted is lakshyatva, denote something. Oh, that is it. Oh, this is sun, this is moon, right? The denotability, or that which can be denoted. And existence. All these are attributes only. If you deny all attributes, you are denying that entity itself. Even the existence you are denying. Anyatha asti brahma ityadinam shabdanam api paryayatvadayo doshaha. So the thing is, Advaitins can escape this again and say, asti brahma are synonyms. Existence, satyam, jnanam, anantam, brahma. Satyam means not existence. Satyam means it is same as Brahma. Jnanam means same as Brahma. So that is also wrong. Because then you don't have to say Asti Brahma, because they are synonyms. Why are you repeating the synonyms? Repetition is an error. Then Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, if you say all these three are repetitions, why are you saying three things? If they are absolutely identical, then the Upanishads will become words of a mad person who repeats words like an idiot. Do you want to agree with that? That the rishis are idiots, repeating the words over and over again? That's what Madhvācārya is saying. Vyavartya visheshascha vyavritta vishesha nibandhana eva. Okay, by the way, when I emotionally say some words, I'm actually representing Madhvācārya. I want you to hear what exactly Madhvācārya is trying to say. When Śaṅkarācārya speaks, I will represent the emotion of Śaṅkarācārya, for sure. So we are trying to understand each Ācārya's view as it is, without mixing anything. Let us hear it properly. Understand this. Let it go into your mind what exactly Madhvācārya is saying. Okay? We are not coming to the final conclusion or samanvaya or I had a word for samanvaya, I forgot. Reconciliation. We are not doing any reconciliation here. We are stating each person's view. It is like going to a court and say one person argues against. We hear that person. One person argues for. We'll hear that person. And both of you, all of you should make your own choices in life. I'm only explaining to you what these Ācāryas are saying. Vyavritya visheshascha vyavritta visheshana nibandhana eva. If you say asti or exists, and you say it is vyavritti. Vyavritti means asad vyavritti. So that which is different from non-existing. If you say that, even that negative way of saying refers to an attribute. So you are dealing with attributes, no matter what. Whether positively, when you say satyam, jnanam, anantam, it is existence, truth, full of jnana, limitless or infinite, all these things, even if you can say, oh, this is not direct attributes, they are indirect, it is different from this, different from non-existence, different from unhappiness as ananda, different from limited, that is, so even if you negatively say, it will eventually become attributes only. So you cannot get out of these attributes. And if you say Brahman has no attributes, even the separation from the limited or attribute, the entities which have attributes, and if you want to separate from it, you still have to refer to Brahman with some attributes. So you cannot determine Brahman as attributeless. And if you do that, Brahman does not even exist, because existence becomes an attribute. You cannot deny that. That is the argument of Madhvācārya. Here, from this point onwards, I will talk about it in the next class tomorrow. So I will leave it here. So tomorrow we'll talk about this particular verse. I'm going to stop it here and open for any questions you may have. Any questions?
Swami, there's a question.
Go ahead.
So existence of a thing and existence itself is two different things, right?
Existence itself means what? Existence of a thing is one thing, right? I understand. What is existence? Just existence. What does it mean? Existence of what?
That's precisely why it is not expressible in words, right? If we cannot say what existence itself is, that's why it is anirvācāryam, right?
See, anirvācāya issue is inexpressible. That means no words can express what it is.
Right.
Okay. And that inexpressibility is already addressed in the second chapter. I didn't want to take it up because it becomes too complex in 1 hour to deal with. Tomorrow I can talk about inexpressibility better, because tomorrow I will go refer to the second chapter. I didn't have time to refer to the second chapter. Okay, I'm still coming back from surgery recuperation and all those things, right? I'm slow a little bit. I could not do so much work actually. Tomorrow I will answer your question about the inexpressibility.
The only reason I bring this up is because according to the Advaita view, they say that it is not an object and it cannot be just pointed out. So that is why all these are Swarupa Lakshana and not attributes itself, right? They don't agree from the same point of view as Madhvācārya is refuting from. True. Madhvācārya is quoting a different.
No. See, the thing you got to understand slightly differently. What Madhvācārya is saying is, do you derive your Advaita from Shastras or not? Question 1. If you derive it independently, it's a free country, you can do whatever you want. Have it. Don't ever say that your views are supported in the Shastras. So expressibility means ability for the words of the Upanishads to explain Brahman in some way. If Brahman is totally anirvachya, inexpressible, the whole gamut of all the Puranas, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Upanishad, Brahma Sutra, Bhagavad Gītā, all those things cannot even talk about Brahman. It is inexpressible. So all these things will be put in a pretty much useless basket, right? So then
the Shastras themselves say that, right? The Upanishad themselves say that it cannot be expressed.
It doesn't say it cannot be expressed. It cannot be fully expressed. It can be expressed to some extent, not fully. That's how the Shastra says. That is where what do you call them? Prakrita etavatvam. That verse is what is it? It is nehananasti kinchanana, not that. Neti, neti, neti. That is the meaning of neti, neti. Advaita takes it as inexpressible. Madhvācārya takes it as expressible, but limited, not fully expressible. The Upanishad, Kena Upanishad also says, Naham manye suvedeti, no na vedeti vedacha. I don't know. I won't say that I know Brahman well. No na vedeti vedacha. I also do know, but limited. The Upanishad itself is saying that. I don't know it completely. But don't tell me I don't even know. I know it to some extent. So don't worry about this inexpressibility. We will separately deal with it after I study the second chapter and refer to exactly what Madhvācārya says. I didn't even get that particular shloka yet. And it's not mentioned in the big fat book I use. This, I was telling Prashant ji, who is kindly helping me with all the PowerPoints, that follow this book. I'm saying this is the Kannada book, which I follow. And this is very nicely, this is the one, you may not be able to read Kannada. It says, Sarvamula Grantagalu, Gita Bhāṣya Mattu Gita Tātparya. This is a big fat book of 870 pages or something like that. It is very well written by the Madhvācārya scholars. I follow this completely.
I have
I'd
this
like
book.
to ask. I have another question if nobody else wants to ask.
Okay, go ahead.
In
One second. Just give others a chance too. You got one question answered. Let's go see if there are any other questions first. Keep it in your mind.
Please continue. I just said that I have this book.
Okay, you have this book. Very good. Prashant, you know that you just follow the same order in which the Gita Tātparya and Gita Bhāṣya is written in this book, and you pick it up from the Ananda Makaranda and copy it into the PPT. Okay.
Sure. I will do that.
Perfect. Any other questions other than Adi right now? If anybody else has any question? No. Go ahead, Adi.
In one point, Madhvācārya says that both Sannyāsa and Karma Yoga is required for progress.
Yes.
In one of the previous verses, we say Saṅkhya Yoga Prithak Bala. Anybody who says Sankhya and Karma Yoga are different. Sankhya means Jnana, right? Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga are different. So, and then the knowledgeable people know that they're both the same. Then how does he say the statement that both are required? If both of them are the same, then why are both of them required?
They are not identically same. Sankhya Yoga Prithak Balaha. Prithak means very different, right? They are not totally different. That's what he is saying. So the thing is, even while doing Karma Yoga, Sannyāsa is required, means mental detachment and everything else required. They go together. They are not identical. Otherwise, you don't need two separate things at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have one last question if nobody else wants.
Go ahead.
The doership, the question of doership, and they constantly point out that in Advaita, a jnani is allowed to not do anything. How does Advaita define a jnani in the first place, for whom everything is one, and there is no second, right?
Yes. Yes.
In that,
yeah.
sorry.
See, the thing is, what Advaita says is a jnani is very close to Bhagavan himself. He has got to that level where he there is nothing to act. There are no restraints. There is the thing is, he has become that. That is the final. Okay. So the thing is, whatever the body he is attached to has only temporary attachment, which will fall away. That has no value. So there is no bondage. Then he knows that Atman is Akarta. For him, Brahman is Nishkriya, Shanta, Nishkriya, no actions. Brahman is never involved in even creation also for Advaita, right? So he has gone beyond creation. He is only one with that Brahman. That's the only thing he has in his. So thing is, that person may have a body, he may be acting, walking, thinking, and things like that. Actually, he is not involved in anything. Only from the perspective of other people who are bound, we cannot see Atman, we only see the body moving and eating and things. Oh, he's just like me. So that is the way Advaita explains jnani.
But it doesn't even accept a person who is doing that. It doesn't say that the person is one with Brahman. It says that there is only Brahman, not the Brahman and person being united.
Jnani has different stages, right? Even a jnani in Advaita has different stages. Why does Advaita separate it to Vividisha Sannyāsa, Vidvat Sannyāsa and all? Vividisha Sannyāsa is, he is wanting to be Vetum Micha, Vividisha. No, he wants to know. And to avoid any marriage or any kind of problems, he gives up everything and walks and becomes a sannyasi. A sannyasi does not have to become a Vidvat sannyasi. Vidvat means he already knows. He is like Ramana Maharshi or some Shuka Maharshi or something like that. That is a different. So even jnanis have different levels in Advaita. One may be attached to somebody, or one may have a little bit of an issue here and there. So there is a range.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
So you talked about this nirguṇam utsrajamicha from chapter 9, and also that.
What is it? Tell me the words again.
Nirguṇam utsrajamicha.
Nigrinhami srijamicha.
Amritam chaiva mrityuscha. That verse. So, and also that Kṛṣṇa is the doer of everything, and not really us. We're just bodies, which are like it's like seeing a movie, right? And we're not the directors. So then the question, it's kind of like a personal question, but the question is, would that mean that my prayers to Kṛṣṇa for letting me getting better in bhakti or coming close to him are also arranged by Kṛṣṇa himself? Because because if it's decided, then what part of my free will is really free will in that case?
See, the thing is, a good question is a hard question also. See, what it is Kṛṣṇa is finally responsible for all actions, whatsoever, anybody's actions, everybody's actions, everything that moves, everything happens in this universe. Kṛṣṇa is responsible. But what happens is, these Jivatmas are a very distinct entities where Kṛṣṇa gives them freedom. It is datta, it is given freedom, right? And there is some limitation. Like you cannot fly to Mars today or something like that, right? So there are limitations, bodily limitations, mental limitations, many limitations. So thing is, using your freedom, you definitely have to look at Ācāryas, what should be done, what should not be done. You should get directions from jnanis to figure out, oh, if I do this, will I get more bound or will I get released from this shackles of samsara? You have the freedom to choose. You have the freedom to evaluate what is right, what is wrong, and take up actions. What happens is, finally, Paramatma has given the freedom to others, but when things happen, you need Paramatma's consent for anything to happen. This is a stronger question. It goes deeper, and the other parts of Bhagavad Gita explain it even further. Panchaitani Mahabaho. There is a 18th chapter verse. There are 5 reasons for all actions. Adhishtanam Tatakartam, the body, the Jīva, Karanam cha pratak vidam, that is the different arms and legs. Vividascha pratak, even if you have arms and legs, it has to move, right? Activity. Daivanchaivatra panchamam. And the God has to be there to support. So you can do whatever free stuff you want. Jīva is also, it is like 5 forces which can make things happen. Out of the 5 forces, Daivanchaivatra panchamam, the fundamental main principle is Paramatma. He has to allow some things to happen. If he allows, everything will happen. You think that you are doing it, but you are not independently doing it. You are doing it. You are one of the freed. You have been given freedom to do. But there is the final string Paramatma has. He can pull it and say, he can refuse that action. You can give up and say, okay, let it happen. So you have to always think that there are 5 forces in action. We are not completely responsible for this body. The body will go away after 100 years. This body is not even mine. But here, I have to respect that the body is also helping me act. If I'm so sick or tired, I will not be able to go to a temple or go out and even work. Even though I'm capable of working, my body says, no, you can't go.
So what about
prayers? Separate forces?
So what about prayers? Because prayer is something that, something is beyond my control, that I feel that is beyond my control. And I pray to Kṛṣṇa to ask for his consent, to allow something or to block something in my life that I think might bring me closer to him. So it's like, is Kṛṣṇa going to listen then? Or is it still upon me? Like, what are prayers like? Like, what's the nature of a prayer then? Is it reduced to just pray and work?
So what does prayer mean? Prayer means you are not able to help yourself by yourself, right? You have decided that some things are beyond my control, and maybe Kṛṣṇa can help me. And you ask Kṛṣṇa that can this happen to me? Can you help me? Can you make me a better bhakta? Whatever you want to ask, right? You're asking. That means it's fine, because Jivatma has been given freedom, and using your mind, which analyzes different information, saying that, okay, so far I've been successful in doing this, solving this program, writing this AI product or something. You've been able to do certain things, but some things are beyond your control. Then you start praying. So you're using your freedom. Some people may not even pray. Some people say, to hell with all these things. It's not under control. Whatever is in my control, I will enjoy. Today I can go and eat some sweets. I will eat sweets. Today I can go to a movie. I will go. So the person can say, I will bother with something what I can control, and I'm not going to be worried about what I'm not able to control. So people are free, right? You're free either to pray or not to pray. If you are praying, you're using your freedom to pray. That's okay. And God will think about what he has to do based on your karma and sincerity. He may grant or not grant. So I don't think there's any question here. There is no issue.
Okay.
Basically, does Naham Karta, Harim Karta, does it actually point to freedom of will?
See, word kartrutva in Sanskrit means freedom only. Swatantra karta is a statement made by Panini. When somebody says somebody is a karta or actor, he is free to do it. Suppose you say, what do you call, in Shastras, this aharaha sandhyam kurvita, a person who has got a sacred thread should perform sandhya vandana every morning and evening and every midday. It says, people say, I am free to do, whether to do it or not, it's my problem. I don't feel like doing, I don't do it. So freedom is there, right? Kartrutva means you are free. That is why Shastras say, do this, don't do this. It gives you guidance. But you are free to follow, or you are free not to follow.
For me, I just pasted in the comments the commentary from Madhvācārya for 18.14, which talks about the 5 forces that you were just talking about.
Correct, yes.
He clearly says that the karta here is Viṣṇu, but then of course in other places he does advocate for actions and not giving up of actions. But he clearly says that the karta is Viṣṇu and Jīva is an akarta. That's where it gets a little confusing on how Madhvācārya takes this.
See, I have to read this properly. Okay. Adhishtanam dehadihi karta Viṣṇuh sahi sarvakarta ityuktam jīvasya cha akartrutve pramanamuktam karanam indriyadi cha cheshtaha kriyaha hastadi kriyabhir homadi karmani jayante dhyanaderapi manasi cheshta karanam पूर्वतनी चेष्टापि संस्कार कारणत्वेन भवति दैवम् अदृष्टं तथा चायास्य श्रुतिः देहो ब्रह्मार्थेन्द्रियाद्याः क्रियाश्च तथा दृष्टं पंचमं कर्म हेतु इति. See, I know what you are mentioning. What karta he is Viṣṇu himself, he says. But even here in this verse, he says, Jīva is not an akarta. If he is an akarta, then there is no issue, right? That means only Paramatma is a karta. Jīva has nothing. And Jīva does not have even sins or papa because he never did it. That is not acceptable. And I will read this, I will take this tomorrow. Let me take this verse seriously tomorrow, and then I will let you know what Madhvācārya really means here. There are some, I don't think this is complete here. Okay, if you don't have any more questions, tomorrow we will continue with this. I would like to finish 5th chapter pretty quickly, and then we will be left with only 6th chapter in Madhu Bhāṣya. We will finish 5 and 6. That way we are on equal terms between all the 3 Ācāryas, Śaṅkarā, Ramanuja, Madhva. I think I finished first 6 chapters in from those 2 schools. Let's try to finish tomorrow. I'll see how far we can go. Here and there, Madhvācārya's commentary becomes complex, and I have to answer the questions asked today. So tomorrow I'll prepare for these questions, and then we'll take up the same time at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Now it's 15 past an hour. Let's stop here. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Parama Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Kṛṣṇa Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabrahmane Namaha, Sarvam Shri Kṛṣṇa Arpanamastu.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.